Welcome to Collie Greens and Nerdy Things, your one-stop shop for all things nerdy. I am King, and that is my partner in crime, JC3. And today we are talking about Daredevil Born Again, episodes 5 and 6. A great episode, a great 2 episodes, and some fun. And we're going to jump right into our favorite things, dislikes, and a conclusion. So let's have at it. What'd you think, Jay?
Man, let me tell you, I think that these new 2 episodes that we got, I think that these are my favorite episodes since the premiere that we got. Just because the past couple episodes have been like building up, to Matt becoming Daredevil, to Fisk giving in to his crime lord ways. It's been like a steady build up. We've been cooking, you know what I mean, simmering. Now it's time to blow up. You know what I mean? And that's what we got in these new 2 episodes. Just the 5th episode kind of pretty much being like a side quest, not having much to do with the overall story that we've been getting. But just I love the 5th episode just because of the setting that it was in. Like, it took place just mostly in one area, one bank, and we got to see Matt Murdock, not as Daredevil, but we see why he is still a hero. That's one of the best things I think that this series offers us is, even though he's not in the suit, there's a reason why he's Daredevil. Like Matt Murdock, he's still a lawyer. He's still a smart man. He still has his senses. And we got to see him use both of those to full effect in the 5th episode. So by the time we got to the 6th episode, it was time. It was time to, unleash the beast, or for that matter, unleash the devil of Hell's Kitchen. So I really enjoyed these episodes. I thought they were amazing. But what about you? What you think?
Well said, dude. Well said. Excuse me. I think that the episode 5 was, like you said, those two were probably my favorite episodes. Episode 5 really gave us a couple cool things, and that is where Marvel is at its best, giving you tiny little Easter eggs, but not necessarily shoving it in your face. So, for all the viewers who are watching, this episode had Yusuf Khan, which is Kamala Khan's dad. And there
That's
was
right.
some great moments in there where Kamala Khan's dad has always been her biggest supporter and biggest fan. And he's got a Funko Pop, and he's telling Matt that he's got this exclusive Funko Pop, even though Matt's blind and he can't see it. But it
Can't
still
see it.
shows how much he loves his daughter and how much he wants to talk about her and her being a hero. And yeah, man, it showed Matt Murdock with a bit of the Daredevil side in him, and why the calling comes to him. No matter what he's doing, where he's at, if something is going wrong or people are in need, Matt's going to help. There's no way around it. So very much like you said, a side quest. This mission, this episode didn't have much to do about the overarching story, but it did show you how Matt Murdock interacts with the world, and showed you who he is and still some of his prowess of being Daredevil, but not in the Daredevil outfit.
Exactly. And I think it also gave us more insight into what we can expect in future Marvel projects. We got, we got the information that Miss Marvel's down in Cali.
Yep.
Wonder why that could be. You know what I mean? Maybe she's, forming her own little team. And we also, that's nothing about the MCU that I like, is it kind of gives us things that we really didn't ask for or expect. But what they're giving us, it's like, in the potential of it, it's very cool, because it's like now I kind of want to see, Daredevil and Miss Marvel, like just kind of chat it up a little bit, like just see the young kid just inspired and wowed by this other larger than life superhero, kind of like how she idolizes Captain Marvel. It'll be awesome just to see her reaction towards Daredevil, who's like a much more darker hero and much more street level as well.
Right.
Like I really enjoyed that. Also enjoyed the little tidbits that that Marvel wanted to put in episode 5, just to give us little Easter eggs of things that we might have seen before. I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, but did you notice like the bank robbers in the 5th episode? Their masks kind of had a certain color scheme. I think they might be a Thanos supporter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I did not catch that. I did not catch that. There it is. There it is. I did
Let
not
me turn
catch
on for.
that they look like. That's dope. I didn't prepare, so I do have the same fist made out of Legos, and it's in this closet behind me. But I didn't prepare to bring it all out today. But I got it.
We're nerds, bro. But all the colors, they were there. They were
They were
there.
represented.
This red one got messed up, but we'll discuss that later.
Yeah,
Nerds,
man.
guys.
I didn't I didn't necessarily pay attention to that until you mentioned it off camera. And I think that's really cool. I noticed that they had different colors, but I did not notice that the colors could even in any way, shape, or form match the colors of the Infinity Stones. But that is something Marvel would do, is throw in a little bit of that Easter egg. You know what I mean? So I like that. And the next episode, man, I'm gonna let you kick it off, but I just want to say, finally, we get the big Muse episode where this story started to really center around the insaneness that is Muse and the craziness that is this man who um, has a problem with Fisk and some authority in that manner and is essentially a serial killer. And I think it's the first time in Marvel that we've actually had anyone overtly say that one of the characters is a serial killer.
Um, I think you may be right. I think you may be right. I think this is the first time we're getting an actual, because I mean that makes sense though, right? Because this is like the first really like TV series that's mature,
Right.
for adults. We're going all in here. You had Deadpool and Wolverine, so now gloves are off. Episode 6 was amazing, like you said, just because we see Muse more, we see the main villain more in this season. We see how twisted he is. We see how Fisk and Matt have to deal with him, or their approach to trying to deal with him, because we've never seen Fisk have to deal with another villain. So that's kind of what makes the story very intriguing. Just because you hear his staff, just going over with him like everything that Muse has done, killing up to like possibly 60 people, and he's digesting all of this. But at the same time, it's just that killer instinct in him, just to just flat out do whatever he wants and enforce his power and when what he has. So his solution is to create a task force to take on Muse. And funny how all the people that he wants in this task force are also Punisher supporters. So we kind of get where that story is going now with the crooked cops that we've seen with the Punisher logos on their neck or on their arm. We see where that's building up to now. Where at the same time we're seeing Matt again still trying to hold that devil in. But after our boy Cherry comes to him and lets him know, what Muse is doing, he just can't help himself.
Yeah, man, I think it was definitely one of those things where we're at the point in the story where both characters were really trying to not give in to their base instincts. Fisk wants to be a better man and not a crime boss, but he can't. Matt wants to just be a normal lawyer and a regular guy and not a superhero, but he can't.
He can't.
There's these base natures, and I think all of us as humans kind of have them. There's base nature that they can't escape. And with the pop-up of Muse, it shows them that they have to go back to who they were. And by towards the end of the episode, we start to see them again being that yin and yang of each other, where they are so much different, but in some ways so much alike. And in those scenes, which we'll get to in a second, you can tell that we're starting to ratchet it up, right? Is exactly what you were talking about. Things are going towards an apex, towards a crescendo. Things are starting to really hit the fan right now. In the next, I think we have 4 more episodes. I think it's going to 9.
Yes, it's going to 9, so we should have
Three,
3 more
three
episodes.
more episodes. You know, we're gonna see them kind of, they're gonna crash out. Like they're gonna crash out real quick in a hurry. And I want to jump back before we talk about the big fight scenes at the end. Um, the idea that you would get all of the worst of the worst police officers who have um issues, with it from where they were at to different departments and make them one task force that is looked after by Fisk by himself, no oversight, is going to be an interesting dynamic to have. And I'm sure, even though they're huge fans of the Punisher, I don't think Frank's going to enjoy that very much. So we'll see
Oh
what
no.
happens in the next 3 episodes. But I'm going to let you jump to the good part.
Cool. Yeah, and you're right. Frank ain't gonna like that, and I can't wait to see all the punishing that he does, whether it's in this show or in his TV special. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
right. But yeah, so we get to our ending in this episode where Matt finds out that Muse has kidnapped Angela, who is the former White Tiger's niece, correct?
Correct.
And have taken her, and we know what he does. He drains the blood from his victims, and he uses it to create his art. So that's what sends Matt over the edge. And he goes out full Daredevil outfit, goes out to get Muse. While in the meantime, we see Fisk going down into a basement where Adam is, and he also has an axe in his hand. Initially, Adam may think that Fisk is about to let him go, whereas we as the audience know, like it's not going to be that easy. Fisk, the way he puts it, is they're too connected now. We're too connected. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Vanessa would love me to let you go, but no, I just can't do it. I'm not too connected to you. So what he decides to do is give Adam a chance to fight for his life by giving him that axe and letting him square up with Fisk. And what ensues between these two fights is just, in my opinion, Marvel television at its best. Because you're seeing these two guys, opposites, but at the same time still the same. Just let it all out. Let this primal rage out that they have been holding in ever since the start of this season. And the fight that ensues between Daredevil and Muse is amazing. I love the hand-to-hand combat. I love how Muse wasn't too easy to take down. He still held his own in the fight, but like nothing could stop Matt. I mean, my goodness, that scream that he let out before he kept going at Muse, like that lives rent free in my head. Also, one more thing I have to mention before we continue on with this fight. I just have to mention the guy that got his leg broken in episode 5 by Matt. I hope that Disney does not do a thing where it's like we see a man, land on his neck, but somehow his face is just messed up. Then if we see this man again that just got his knee caved in by Matt, he better be in a wheelchair. I'm just saying, we better not see him walking again, because that was nuts. But anyway, back to this fight. Sorry. Then we get to Fisk.
That was great.
Who we get to Fisk, who is just laying it in. And Adam does not stand a chance, bro. Not a chance. He's getting tossed everywhere. He is getting beaten within an inch of his life. And just so you know how psychotic Fisk is, one of the things that he shouts out is mine. Mine. She, like, Vanessa is mine. And that is the psyche, the true psyche of Wilson Fisk. Like, he's trying to play mayor, but hey, like, at the end of the day, gangster's still a gangster, man. And he laid it in on my guy. I think he's still alive. I think I saw him twitch a little bit when Fisk dragged him back in the cell. But I mean, bro, just speaking for myself at that point, bro, just kill me. That beating was ridiculous. But what did you think, my guy?
I have to agree, bro. After that beating, just kill me. Just kill me. It
Just kill me.
was an insane beating. For people who might be watching the show but not super familiar, Wilson Fisk, he doesn't have any super soldier serum or any power. He's just strong, stronger than a mother. And so he gives Adam that axe. And then the second Adam swings it, he blocks it and punches him clear across the room. I mean, the force, any normal, outside of an MCU project, movie, show, we would be down from that first hit. It was astronomical. And then there's a point where he swings the axe. Wilson takes it out of frustration, snaps it in half, throws it, and continues his assault. That axe was more or less giving you a chance to feel like you're equal in this, because you're not. And
Exactly.
Fisk dragged that man back in his cell after he beat him to a literal bloody pulp, and then closed the cage. And on the other hand, you had mentioned this to me, so I got to say it. There was a moment when Muse didn't know that Daredevil was on the way, but he can sense something was coming.
Yeah.
And he looks into the subway station. He's tucked out in a hole in the subway wall. And they're kind of setting you up for a jump scare. And you have this bright light of this train coming towards you. And right in between that bright light, there comes Daredevil out of nowhere. And I mean, with anger, of course, because this little girl is someone he just had talked to, and someone's uncle that he just, tried to save and couldn't. And now this girl was in danger after he told her to not go out. He really felt, I think that was heavy in his heart. So he had to go down there and do something. And you're right. The fight that ensued between them was fantastic. Muse is no slouch. In the end, Daredevil will beat him. But boy, he wasn't no slouch. He was taking moves. He fights a lot like Poindexter.
Yeah.
He fights a lot like Poindexter. And I think that's really cool. There was a moment where Matt had him on the ropes and had the rope around his neck and kind of hoisted him up and was going to let him pass. But he's the Daredevil. He can't do that. So he drops him.
Can't cross.
Yeah.
Yep.
He drops him and tends to the girl, gets her back awake, starts giving her chest compressions to get her blood flowing and get her back up. And you look at Muse and he's down, he's struggling. And then the little girl wakes back up and Muse is gone. So we know going forward, we're going to have more Muse in the next episode. And my question to you guys at the audience is, what did you think of these episodes? What did you think of Muse? Did you know about him beforehand? What do you think is going on in New York? And how do you feel about the new Daredevil show? And just so you know, we will be here covering all of the Daredevil episodes for the rest of the season. So jump down in the comments, go to our social medias, tell us what you think and what you like about the show, or if you'd like us to talk about something maybe we missed. So let us know. And for all of us here at Collard Greens and Nerdy Things, I'm King.
And I'm JC3. Thank you guys all for the support. Also, one more thing, I hope Angela realizes to learn from Hector. When somebody tells you to stay away, stay away. All right. Hector stepped out right after he got out of court and he got shot. Okay. You step out after Matt tells you to leave him alone and now you got kidnapped. Let's listen to the adults. Okay. You can be a young Avenger later. But thank you guys. We appreciate you.
And always stay nerdy, my friends. We'll see you
Stay
next
nerdy.
time.